Suzuki, I was just joking. You didn't have to turn the comments off. I've angered the Suzuki people. They'll never love me again. I don't think they ever loved me in the first place, but they'll definitely never love me now. I was gonna buy another DRZ too, I swear. Probably not, but you know, maybe. Woo! What's going on, everyone? Yeah, I wanted to just have a little fun video talking about something that happened maybe about I don't know, what was it, like a couple weeks ago on Instagram, some buttness, hurtness, maybe by Suzuki, and how I think maybe marketing departments are a little out of the loop sometimes of what, you know, what they're doing, what they're not doing. And if anyone from Suzuki's catching this is not just a bash you kind of video. I'm really not. I got some constructive criticisms, maybe a suggestion or two. Who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just some guy. I'm just some dude, makes videos on the internet, put a lot of miles on a DRZ back in the day, some hard miles. Hell, I love for Suzuki, honestly, though. I mean, like, man, that old DRZ, that was the start of this whole YouTube channel, you know? I've been riding for years, but I wouldn't start making videos until I got that DRZ. And honestly, it wasn't even until like halfway through owning it, I was like, hey, maybe I should make YouTube videos. 2 weeks ago on Instagram, I'm scrolling through there and I saw a post. This post, it was the Gixxer, I think the 600. And then the other one was the DRZ. The thing that was funny is they put 2024 on it, right? It's clearly the same bikes. No one's made any changes to these bikes over the years. They're the same thing. I mean, the Gixxer 600, however old you think it is, it ain't as old as the DRZ, which is from 99. It's Modelo time. It's almost silly that they would even put that up with the caption 2024. It's like, guys, you're not self-aware? Like, people are gonna dog on you for that. And they were. They're having fun in the comments. I never mean it maliciously, but sometimes I like to play around too, you know? And I put a spicy comment. One that if you're in the DRZ community or even the dual sport supermo community, you may be aware of the meme. All I said was bold new graphics. If you don't get that, what that means, for years, they'd post the updated DRZ on the website, right? Of course, it's not actually updated. There's nothing new about it, but under new, it would say bold new graphics. And so basically the forum pages and the groups and everybody would just, that was always the meme. It'd be like, oh, did you hear about the new one? It's getting bold new graphics. Someone would buy a new DRZ, like a new model one. People would be like, oh, those bold new graphics, bro. I was at a meet one time. If anyone's got a picture of this, please let me know. And he had a shirt that just said bold new graphics on it. I fucking died. I had tears in my eyes. I was laughing so hard at this dude's shirt. Eventually, Suzuki quit putting bold new graphics on the website because I think they got sick of people memeing it. Although I think at one point they screwed up and did it again, like somebody forgot. But yeah, at some point I think they became aware of the meme and we're like, all right, we gotta quit putting that on there. So I put that. I'll put bold new graphics. I go back. I don't know, a few minutes later, I see it says comments are disabled on that post. So I'm pretty sure they at least saw mine. I know there's probably other people memeing them too. Maybe I'm the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know. Look at that. Look at the beauty of the lake. There's a Modelo can right there. What are those turkey vultures up there? Oh, look at these bad boys. Look at you boys. Are some big old turkey vultures, aren't you? All but hurtness aside, it just shows a big disconnect between sort of the marketing departments and like the actual internet sort of writers world that, you know, I live in, you guys live in. Like, I've been around some of these people, right? Some of these different marketing people, and I've seen how they do, and oh, never mind, that's muddy. You know, it's not that they're not riders, it's not that they're not into the sport, but they're only around other industry people, and I think they kind of lose touch. Because realistically, I think you got to embrace some of that kind of meme culture. You got to have fun with, like, how funny would it have been if they put that post up and then put in big, hilarious letters, bold new graphics over it? Like, just own the meme, right? If you're not going to change the bike, at least just own the meme. Or how about this? What if they actually came out with bold new graphics? That's always kind of been the joke, too. Is like, the graphics aren't even bold. They look like some 90s graphics, you know? Like, they've never been that interesting. Look what people are doing with graphics today. I mean, look at this bike. But you gotta remember though, anytime you're on the internet, if someone's laughing at you and you don't laugh back, you know, you kind of already lost. You gotta be the one laughing the hardest. Disabling comments is such a butthurt move. It's a big spider web. That's all right. That's all right. My bike catches them. It's good for it. Oh, look, here's another big one. Yeah, why not? I don't know. Let's just die. Probably 13 of them in here. Maybe I'll get power. So the disconnect, it's two levels, right? One, you actually posted that, Suzuki. Like, you posted a picture of two bikes with the caption 2024 over it that are like very out of date. And then two, you disabled comments. It's like, are you new to this? Water break. I don't know what the feels like temperature is, but it is like, I think 104 out right now. So, water break. But if you think Suzuki is the only brand doing stupid stuff like this, no, it's like, I'm telling you, it's everybody. And I can tell you a personal example, which I don't mind saying, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to talk to me anymore anyway. Do y'all remember like a year ago when I did the deal with Ducati? They brought me out to the MotoGP race in Austin. Gave me like a first class experience there. I was at their whole little Ducati world. And then afterwards they They let me borrow a Monster for like a couple months. Made a few videos with it. It was a fun time. I really appreciated it. But they don't talk to me anymore. I can tell you a couple reasons why that is. They pretty much told me at the beginning they really wanted me to make a bunch of positive content with their bike, and I was like, the videos are going to be what the videos are, you know. They're organic. I don't guarantee of people of what they can and can't get when they borrow me or give me something. I had this one video, and I'll kind of sum up, I think, the point in it that I think that they weren't a huge fan of, where I talked about just the bike in general and my experience with it, you know, and I said one of the comments I got a lot while I was riding around posting on Instagram and whatnot was like, people were like, hey, is it broke down yet? Is it having issues? Because that was something that, to be honest, Ducatis were having a lot of problems not long ago. And Ducati ain't gonna talk about it, right? They're just not. But I talked to them about it behind the scenes. They're talking about production issues, quality control issues they were having. There was some stuff with the electronics. This is loose. But what had happened in the last few years, which I thought was worth talking about, was that Audi had bought a major stake in them and was going into all that stuff. They were messing, they were tinkering with it. Audi, which is, you know, owned by VW. Remember when they did the same thing with Lamborghini? You get a Lamborghini, you're getting like German engineering under the hood, but still got that Italian sort of style flair. I'd be bragging about that if I was Ducati, but when I brought that up to them, I was like, yeah, y'all should mention that. They're like, no, because we can't really mention that we've had issues in the past. You know, that's like gonna be frowned upon. I was like, okay, cool, I don't work for you, I can.
I just wanted to say to everyone out there, I'm no longer mainlining acid or smoking PCP. It's official.
They didn't like not talking about it makes it go away too. Like it's a thing. People knew that. So I don't think they like that. I don't think they like that I also drag raced it against an FZ09 and it lost to it, no doubt. But I mean, like, even in that video, it's very tongue-in-cheek where I'm like, that's all that matters is what is straight line performance, you know. Like, Ducati didn't like that. They wanted me to just be nothing but sunshines and lollipops talking about their brand. And if you look at the people that get hooked up with their brands a lot, like influencers and journalists, pay attention to how they talk about the bikes. If they don't want to deal with me because I might say some stuff like that, then it's probably best we don't anyway. But it just shows to me a massive disconnect. Maybe I'm being big-headed, but I thought maybe, you know, talking about that and being real about it, let's hit it head on was the way to go. Well, here's another just kind of like disconnect for you too, right? When I was at that MotoGP thing, I think, oh, did you have a paddock access? Could you go down there and see the teams? No, I got to meet them, luckily. That's kind of cool. That was not because I was in the paddocks. I would have loved to have been down there. I didn't get to do that. It's no big deal, but then what's funny is I find out while I'm there is some famous guy with quotes that is getting to do that. He's some kind of 90s male model. I have no clue who this guy is. Anyway, they brought him in, like paid for him to be there. He got to go down there and like meet the riders and give them encouragement. It's like, I mean, maybe they're all gay and they're into him. I don't know. But if they are, then it worked. Sorry, I guess, you know, he is important. But no, I just don't, like, here's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm in my late 30s now. I don't really know who this guy is. These 20-year-old MotoGP racers know who a 90s male model is. What a random thing. And that's who they went after. It's like, you know, they're like, oh yes, this will be I've done a good job here as the marketing whatever guy. I got this 90s. What the fuck is that? What kind of move is that? Again, just the out of touchness. I don't even know if they know who I am. They probably don't. I'm a motorcyclist at minimum, you know. This is one of many decisions I've watched marketing people make in the motor world where I'm just like, what? Sorry, what? I couldn't predict it. It's so bizarre and random. Yeah, Ducati went cold after that. They don't talk to me anymore. Everyone I met was a great person, and maybe I'm misreading the situation, but it seemed like that's how it was. I mean, I actually did get some feedback. They didn't like some of the videos I made. Let's see, what's another brand I can ruin myself to never work with again? You know, we've got Suzuki and Ducati in this video. Maybe I should shut up about some of the other things I know about. I think it's frustrating that we often have ideas for bikes that just don't come to be. How often we see the industry dump a bunch of money into a bike, come out with a bike, what you know is like it's like not a good one. You're like, oh man, you should have just done this instead. Yeah, no, that sounds real like cocky, like, oh, I know better. When you see how disconnected people like the marketing departments are, who's to say the development departments aren't the same way? I think they are, quite frankly. I think there's a lot of bikes that are close, almost a hit, but they just miss a little bit. This was one of them. This is one we had to throw a lot of time and money into to get it right by Honda here. Very easily within their capability to make this bike way better. Just didn't, you know, it's just, this is what we got. Sometimes these brands, they'll just mess with our emotions with stuff like that. But let me talk about one in particular. Going back before, I said I had a DRZ for a long time. I'm very aware of those bikes. I've worked on so many of them. I got some ideas. People want an updated DRZ 400. At this point, just can't see them doing a full makeover on the DRZ. I don't think we're gonna get a new engine, a new frame, or anything like that. And of course, they have that weird thing where if they do any changes to it, they're kind of grandfathered in right now to the old emissions. They'd have to bring it up to new emissions. So can they even do it, right? Well, I've got an idea. If anyone from Suzuki's listening, they're definitely not at this point. But if you are, all right, hear me out, because I got a game plan for you guys to let you update the DRZ without spending any money and hardly developing anything new. Pretty much everything I'm going to bring up in this, you've already developed. See, I like to come up with realistic suggestions for these companies. I've made like a DRZ 500 video years ago, talking about that aluminum frame. No. I've got more wise in my old age. I now realize we have to come up with the cheapest way of doing things, and they might have a chance. So here's what I'm saying. The frame and suspension, just leave it alone. The wheels, everything, the chassis is fine. I know a lot of people go, no, it's out of date, this and that. For the purposes, it's not a motocross bike. For the purposes it's built, it's completely doable and fine. Maybe for the S model, bring over the inverted forks. I mean, if you're gonna have two suspensions, have a suspension that shares like 90% of the same components, right? Because these guys, they got a whole setup out here. That means there's a group of quads or side by side somewhere out here. Look at them guys. Let them get a little head there. Let's get to the heart of it. In the middle of it, it's the engine, right? Let's take the engine, hit the transmission. I don't know if it's possible, but if we could spread that 5-speed a little more, that would be great. I know a lot of people say, no, shove a 6-speed in, but I realize probably gonna need a wider case, then a wider frame. It's the same thing that happened to the 450RL, and I just don't see Suzuki doing that. I know there's people that do that they call it the 6-speed mod on the DRZ, where they put wider gears in, but you have to trim some stuff on the case and other places to make it fit. It's a couple little minor spots. I don't know if Suzuki'd be willing to do that, but if you guys would appreciate it. Let's get to the crank and the bore size. Look, if you don't want to touch them, don't touch them. If you want to give it just a little bit of stroke, a little bit of bore, you don't have to take it up to a 440 or anything like all the kits do. Although those have shown you can do it reliably. I think you should take it up to 420 for the memes. Whole new engine size. Get some meme artists, get some funny people to work in development and marketing, and you have some great results. Musk has shown that with Tesla. You can do some silly stuff and people will enjoy it. We're gonna have to put fuel injection on it. And guess what? You've already developed it for the quad, that LTZ 400 thing. You might have to do like a different fuel pump to make that all work. You have to kind of go to one of those KTM style ones where the fuel pump hangs off to one side. My suggestion, if you do that, make some kind of crossover so that the fuel will be even. You know, something I don't even know why they don't do on carbureted bikes. Any bike with that hump in it seems like a really simple thing that should be done. So you've already developed that system. It's just gonna be the tuning of it, really. What's up, man? Oh, no, you're good, man. I can squeeze around. I got you, bro. I'm good. Thank you, sir. How y'all doing? How you doing? Y'all have a good day. If you're gonna put a pair valve on it, which you're probably gonna need to do, the secondary air, the molding's already in the head. I've seen it. You can't lie to me about it. I've seen it in there, Suzuki. So all you gotta do is finish milling it out, basically. Pretty sure you guys already had catch cans on the California model, so again, nothing really new there. And yeah, you're gonna have to put a new exhaust on there with a catalytic converter in it. Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff, like I said, it's not already been developed. It's already there. It exists. Could definitely be done on the cheap. I think as a final note, if you did that and you changed the bodywork up on it, I know I'm talking about plastic molds and things like that. They aren't cheap. But if you did update the bodywork even just a little bit, people would love it. I mean, this would basically be the KLR treatment. Basically, had fuel injection, new bodywork. People would buy it. Add those there little tweaks in there. Dude, I would sell my bike now and buy one of those if you came out with that, Suzuki. I love this bike right here. But if you came out with even just an EFI DRZ, I'd probably buy one. I know that platform so well. In fact, that would actually be the benefit too. Not only would that not cost you a lot, so many aftermarket parts already exist for this setup. It's there. It's already there. People would buy the out of that bike. You wouldn't be able to produce enough of them. That's my free advice to Suzuki there and other manufacturers. If they're listening, they're probably not. What do you think though Suzuki should do? What would you like to see to make them do better with their bikes? And also let me know in the comments if you have any good examples of what you've seen manufacturers just not being like in the loop of what's going on, whether it's marketing or development. I honestly think most of their ads are just hilarious. I love to watch them. I'm like, what boomer wrote this? The problem too is a lot of them aren't boomers. They're young dudes, but they're trying to impress the boomers on the board, so they come up with boomer ads. They're just cringe. Want to see these videos earlier without ads and help support this channel? Go over and check out the Patreon. That's what supports this channel, supported by viewers like you. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll see you later.